studios of Extreme Sports in Hastings, Nebraska, we present Huddle Up, a great way to start your day with all the news, weather, and sports you need, interesting interviews, and friendly conversation from two guys that go together like Scooby and Shaggy. Mike Will and Tyson Havronic.
Well, good morning, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Huddle Up here on Extreme Sports, and welcome to a Thursday, the 25th day of September for 2025. Mike Will, Tyson Havronic, ready to start your day the right way with all the news, weather, and sports that you need to get out the door here this morning. The top-ranked Nebraska volleyball team opened up the Big Ten Conference season last night with a 3-game sweep of Michigan at the Bob Devaney Sports Center. The scores were 25-22, 25-10, and 25-13. We'll get some comments coming up today from Husker head coach Danny Busboom Kelly. The Big Ten Conference and the Big Ten Network are launching a newly created in-season volleyball challenge that will begin this year. We'll talk about that coming up. The women's soccer team for the Huskers going to be in action tonight. They'll be at home to take on Michigan. Hastings College volleyball team lost to second-ranked Concordia last night. And a match played in Seward. We'll talk about that here in a few minutes. The soccer teams, they were in action last night in Crete against Doane University. Some high school football action coming up tonight. Some high school softball is going to be played today. We'll talk about the Kansas City Royals. We'll talk about the NFL all coming up today. The baseball playoff run as a Major League Baseball enters its final weekend of the regular season coming up here this weekend. Plus, we're going to be talking with Amy Sandeen. She's with the Hastings Community Theater. They got their season opener, so to speak, their performance of Annie, which is coming up. So Tyson had a chance to sit down with Amy yesterday. We'll hear from her coming up on the show here today. So thanks for getting up with us on a Thursday as we welcome in Tyson Havronic from the Western Studios. Good morning.
Yeah, doing a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of everything here on today's show. Some baseball talk. We'll have some Husker volleyball talk. By the way, thanks for the Husker women for taking care of Michigan for us. That helps ease the pain here in the bye week after the football team dropped that 3-point game to ranked Michigan over the weekend. So helping ease the pain there. But yeah, some sports talk, some arts talk, some community-centric talk. And we've got some pretty juicy stuff in the news as well in terms of the former director of the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission. Charges were officially filed for him yesterday, and so very interesting, shady operations going on over there that we will highlight in the news department today, as well as talk about UNK. They have officially made their decision. No booze sales at UNK at Cope Stadium this year. Insurance provider and the university couldn't work out the details, and ultimately, with just 3 home games left, they said, "Nah, let's just scrap it for the year." So no alcohol sales on the Cope Coliseum, not Cope Coliseum, excuse me, Ron and Cope Carroll Field. There we go. Get the place right. There's no booze sales at Kearney Catholic either. So lots to get to here on today's show. Good morning.
All right, it's 7:04. Again, you can chime in with us. Social media sites here this morning. Any thoughts you've got in the sports world or anything else that's on your mind here today? If you'd like to join us on the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line or the fan line, you can give us a call at 402-834-1330, 402-834-1330. Wanted to spend a couple of minutes talking about the Major League Baseball races as they head down the wire. Who's in, who's out for baseball. The Phillies, they wrapped up a first-round bye with an 11-1 victory over the Miami Marlins last night. Philadelphia hit 8 home runs in the ball game last night. So now Philadelphia is assured of one of the 2 top seeds in the National League. The Eastern champion Phillies will open up the postseason at home on October the 4th in a best-of-5 Division Series. The Phillies are sitting at 93-65 on the season. And then the Cleveland Guardians, talk about them, for 175 days, the standings showed the Detroit Tigers having at least a share of first place in the National League Central Division until yesterday. The Cleveland Guardians, who were 15 and a half games out of first place in early July, took over sole possession of the top spot of the division with another come-from-behind victory last night, sending the Tigers to their 8th consecutive loss. The Guardians have won 17 of their last 19 games. They've made up 15 and a half games in the division, and they now top the American League Central Division after 175 days of Detroit being on top. So amazing things are happening in the baseball playoff run, so to speak, as we head to the playoffs coming up this weekend. Who's out? Who's in for Major League Baseball? What's the story here?
You just scratched the surface on what's been a turbulent last 15-day stretch, especially in Detroit. And that's the big focal point. I mean, Detroit was so dominant throughout the entire course of the season, and at one point they had a double-digit lead on the Cleveland Guardians for the division lead. They were in cruise control until September. September rolls around. I mean, look at their last 10 games, and this has just been a consistent stretch of a bad. They were able to Tuesday snap a what would have been 10-game losing streak, only to turn around and then drop 8 games in a row. So the last week on Tuesday, they snapped this horrendous 9-game losing streak, only to lose 8 more games in a row. They've been miserable in September, and now they're in danger of sliding all the way out of the postseason picture, because you've got Houston, and damn it, if you're Houston, all you have to do is start to win a couple games. You've knocked Detroit out. Houston can't win for the life of them either. They're currently riding a 5-game losing streak, and 4-10 or 4-6, in their last 10. So you've got Houston, who is sitting there in prime position to overtake the Detroit Tigers and complete this horrendous fall in September. But Houston, with the door wide open, is just standing there on the doorstep. There's nobody behind either of these teams in the American League, so it's now between, realistically, Detroit and Houston to see who wants to win a game. Boston is sitting on 87 wins. They're a 99.6% chance to lock up that wild card. It would take a horrendous fall for Boston not to be seated in the American League playoffs. So really, as far as who's in, who's out, you're looking at 2 teams this weekend, Detroit and the Houston cheating Astros. Meanwhile, in the National League, a little bit more wide open. The door closed last night officially for the St. Louis Cardinals. They had an opportunity with about 10 games remaining on the schedule. The door was open. All they had to do was play winning baseball. They didn't. They fell on their face. They completed another horrendous season. 3rd straight year the Cardinals aren't in the postseason, and rebuild is on the way. Arizona, Cincinnati, and the New York Mets, they've been trading this particular spot for the wild card. It feels like all 3 teams have had a share in it this week. The Mets are currently sitting at 5-5, so playing 500 ball in their last 10. You've got Cincinnati at 6-4. Arizona continues to hang around in the chat. They've been 7-3. All 3 of those wild card teams, or potential wild card teams, Mike, lost last night. Couldn't get the job done, so couldn't get any extra footing. But that within 3 teams is within 1 game. So you have Cincinnati and Arizona. They're both sitting at 80 and 78, 2 games above 500. The Mets solidly at 81 and 77. Then there's actually a race for the NL West, although it's not much of one. LA has a 2-game lead on San Diego. Realistically, San Diego could swap positions with the LA Dodgers, the mighty LA Dodgers. But really, again, your intrigue, your focus, you want to be on who's that last team that's going to get into the wild card and who's playing hot. And none of the teams that are gunning for this last wild card spot are playing good baseball right now. So it's all going to be which team stumbles into the playoffs and can figure it out. But you've got a 3-horse race in the NL for the last wild card spot. You got a 2-horse race in the American League. Baseball is getting fun as we enter into the final weekend of play.
Cal Raleigh hit his major league leading 59th and 60th home runs last night as the Seattle Mariners clinched the American League West with a 9-2 win over the Colorado Rockies. His 59th home run was a solo shot in the first inning. Then he hit another home run, his 60th in the 8th inning, also a solo homer. The Mariners are the only big league team that has never been to a World Series.
Yep.
And they clinched their 4th division crown in the franchise's 49-year history last night, and the first one since 2001 when they set an American League record with 116 wins. So Seattle, with the Cal Raleigh, they continue to play well. I guess with 4 games remaining in the Mariners' regular season, Raleigh has a chance to pass New York Yankees star Aaron Judge for the American League single-season home run record. Judge hit 62 home runs in 2022 to break the previous record set by Roger Maris, a record that had stood since 1961. So Judge has that record now, but right on the doorstep is Cal Raleigh. He's now sitting at 60. Needs, 3 home runs in his last 4 games to break the American League record for single-season home runs. So all eyes on Cal Raleigh coming up here in the next couple of games.
Yeah, Cal Raleigh home run watch. And I think, if allegiances aside, if your team is not playing postseason baseball, if you're a Cardinals fan, if you're a Rays fan, if you're, a Pirates fan and had to endure, if you're a Royals fan, I think the neutral attention is going to shift towards Seattle. They're kind of America's darling baseball team anyway, with the memories of Randy Johnson, the big unit, and Ken Griffey Jr. just hitting bombs out of Safeco Field back in the day. They've got a soft spot for a lot of baseball fans, and I think the casual, neutral observer, you're going to have plenty of Cubs fans. There's going to be a nation fixated on Chicago Cubs baseball here in the postseason again. But I think you're also going to have that New York market. But your neutrals, your IDKs, IDCs, they're going to be on Seattle. I'm going to be on Seattle.
Wow,
that's my pony that I'm going to
ride that pony.
That's my pony that I'm picking for the Derby.
All right,
the Derby of the postseason.
That's what's going on in Major League Baseball as they will get to the finish line, and we'll get that started, the postseason here in the next few days. I know we've got hockey starting here soon, so that season will get underway. Talk about something else here that popped up. Mm-hmm. The Big Ten Conference and the Big Ten Network are launching a newly created in-season volleyball challenge.
Okay.
Everything else we've got to worry about, playing ranked teams just about every week in the Big Ten. Now we're going to have this in-season volleyball challenge.
What is
it's
this?
called the Discoverer In-Season Volleyball Challenge. It's going to debut here this year, the 2025 regular season, starting October 1st and ending October 31st. Now, each team in the Big Ten will play 5 conference matches during the month that will count toward the Discover In-Season Volleyball Challenge, and the winner will be determined by the highest win total across the 5 games. And naturally, if there's a tie, they've got all kinds of tiebreakers that we won't go into. But Nebraska's 5 matches to count toward this thing will be against Penn State on October the 3rd, against Washington on October the 10th, a road match at Michigan State on October the 17th, another home match against Northwestern on October the 24th, and at Wisconsin on the final day on October the 31st. So volleyball going to an in-season volleyball challenge during the month of October. maybe to add a little excitement to the Big Ten conference season here for the month. NASCAR did that the last couple of years. They've got an in-season, a NASCAR tournament challenge that they have, like during, I think it was June.
Well, the NBA has a stupid tournament challenge midway through. And
a lot of sports are going to that. I guess to keep the interest or to pique the interest in your sport.
Nebraska's undefeated and the number one team in the nation. That's plenty of intrigue. You're in the Big Ten. You play top 25 teams every single night. You don't need to add intrigue to something that already has intrigue.
Yeah, I didn't see a whole lot of reason behind this thing, but they announced it yesterday. It's dumb.
We're playing for a Big Ten championship, period. And that season, I'm sorry, gang, that goes an extra month. So you're gonna have to keep your attention span for one more month, not just the month of October, because November is actually when things get pretty interesting in the sport of college volleyball. I don't know. I think playing for a Big Ten championship and having those be the standings and not having some mid-season, here's how you did in October. Well, they won they finished the season outside of the top 25. But they won the Discover Big Ten tournament challenge thing that we put together and fabricated. And who cares? These TV executives, they need something to do. Stop messing with sports. Nobody watches the mid-season big NBA tournament bubble thing that they have.
Yeah, if I'm going to watch volleyball in October and I'm intrigued by Nebraska and Michigan State, I'm going to watch it because I want to watch Nebraska and Michigan State, not because the Huskers might be vying for the championship and the Discover in-season volleyball challenge. I'm going to watch it because I'm interested in the game. I don't care that we might be vying for the Discover in-season volleyball challenge.
90,000 people packed the stadium for Nebraska and Omaha, and 90,000 people. You think that is that not intrigue enough for you? Do you not realize that maybe you've cornered a volleyball market with the Big Ten, and that you don't need to add intrigue into what is already a way too short of a season? Like it snaps and it's done. So the season's already short enough. You don't need to splice in a little midway tournament challenge. This is stupid.
All right, give us your thoughts if you'd like. You can drop us a message on our social media sites. If you'd like to chime in on the horn, you can. Give us a call on the Hamilton Telecommunications fan line, 402-834-1330, 402-834-1330. Chime in on the Discover In-Season Volleyball Challenge or anything else that might be on your mind today, sports-related or not. Husker volleyball again winning last night over Michigan. Took like an hour and 18 minutes, I think. Huskers are beating Michigan in 3 straight games last night, so the Huskers now 11-0 on the season. They'll get ready to play Maryland on Saturday. Be a 3 o'clock first serve at the Bob Devaney Sports Center. Hastings College will hold their homecoming coming up this weekend. And we're going to have football, volleyball, and soccer, all part of the homecoming festivities. And we'll have all the games on the air for you here on Extreme Sports on Saturday. Starting things off with football, it'll be the 4th-ranked team in the nation, Morningside, in town to take on Hastings in college football. That'll be a 1 o'clock start. Pigskin Preview begins at noon on Extreme Sports. We'll have volleyball during the afternoon. Hastings College will take on Briar Cliff. That'll be a 4:30 match inside Lynn Farrell Arena. On the air with the pregame at 4:15 on Extreme Sports 2. Then we'll have a soccer at night. Hastings playing Dakota Wesleyan. Men's game will go at 4:30. The women's match will go at about 8 o'clock. We'll have the action on Extreme Sports on Saturday as well, beginning at about 5:15 or so for soccer. So football, volleyball, and soccer all coming your way this weekend on Extreme Sports as part of the Hastings College homecoming festivities this weekend.
I need you to get Corey Wester on the horn. I've got an idea. We're going to find a corporate sponsor Let's get Tyson Chicken, right? They've got the Tyson Event Center, if it's still called the Tyson Event Center, used to be. They've got Tyson Chicken in their back pocket, so we can literally call it the Tyson Extreme Sports All Offense Month of October Challenge. And let's take all of the sports. Let's include all of the sports. Let's get soccer in here. Let's get volleyball. We'll bring football. And I just want offense. You know me. I'm an offensive guy. I love offense. So get Corey on the horn. The schools in the 3 respective sports which we cover, the most offensive production, the most points scored, that's on the volleyball court, that's in the soccer, on the soccer pitch, it's on the football field, the most points for wins the Tyson Extreme Sports All Offensive Guru Challenge. How's that sound?
I like
October.
it.
Our mid-season special.
I like it. Maybe we'll
I'm not
bring
going
it
to
up
calculate it.
Our next board meeting, our next staff meeting. We could bring that up. You know how far we get at those things. You and I are usually in the minority at our staff meetings.
Yeah, which is weird because it's a 3-person crew.
Yeah, it's usually it's us. It's us, but we got this third member that outvotes us all the time. We've got 2 votes, you and me. Then we got that other member.
And that member has infinity votes.
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't understand the corporate makeup of extreme sports. Anyway.
I think you need to deep dive in the contract. Find out what loophole we missed when we signed on terms and conditions. We gave Jimbo a lot of crap because Jimbo read through everything. I just signed it at the bottom. I didn't even read it. That's probably in it. The bookkeeper gets infinity votes on extreme sports corporate decisions.
Yeah, it's probably in there somewhere.
Because we're not eligible for prizes yet, despite multiple pleas.
Yeah, and speaking of that, the Survivor picks need to be in by 6 p.m. tonight.
Good segue.
You and I released our Week 4 selections yesterday. Everybody else, you got to get your Survivor picks in by 6 p.m. tonight. Do it now while you're thinking about it. The Survivor picks for week number 4. You are on Buffalo this weekend. I am on Detroit this weekend.
Nice.
So those are the Survivor picks for you and I. There's, what do we got? 21 people. 21 people still left in Survivor, including me and you. So get your Survivor picks in by 6 p.m. tonight. There is a game tonight. Arizona and Seattle.
On Prime.
Kicks off the 4th week of the NFL season. 7:15 kickoff time on Prime. I don't know if I would make that part of my Survivor picks or not. Could be a tough game, Seattle and Arizona. So you can look there if you want, but again, get your Survivor picks in by 6 p.m. tonight. Waking up with Mike and Tyson. This is Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Good morning. It's 7:23.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
Well, after a long period of time, we finally have charges against Hobie Roop, the former executive director of the Nebraska Liquor Control Commission, who had really kind of just was vanished and banished, and there wasn't a whole lot of reason given. Well, he was federally indicted this week and charged with honest services fraud, wire fraud, and extortion as a public official. The indictment alleges that Hobie accepted cash, free drinks, and VIP dances and sex acts from 2 Lincoln strip clubs in exchange for shielding them from investigators and enforcing unfavorable scrutiny on their competitors. The strip clubs involved the Office Gentlemen's Club and the Night Before Lounge. Brent Zywick, part owner of both of those clubs, is also named in the indictment, and he faces counts of conspiracy and honest services fraud. Between 2022 and 2025, Roop allegedly used his position to protect these clubs from regulatory or law enforcement scrutiny, ignored violations, and tipped investigators towards the competing clubs. The indictment cites evidence such as text messages, surveillance video, and internal club records, which were nothing more than sticky notes marked COB for cost of business to track the illicit payments. Meanwhile, speaking of booze, the University of Nebraska Kearney has scrapped the idea of selling alcohol at football games for the 2025 season. University spokesperson Todd Gatola confirmed that no alcohol will be sold in Ron and Carol Cope Stadium this year, saying in a statement, quote, "After reviewing it carefully, the insurance costs were just cost prohibitive for the university and our concessions vendor, so we are going to revisit the concept in the off-season and evaluate the options and take a look at maybe doing this in future seasons," end quote. UNK and its concessions vendor Nightlife Concepts ran into insurance-related problems, specifically the vendor's insurance provider, who could only offer them $1 million in liquor liability coverage, but the university required $5 million under system rules. The Lopers have just 3 home games left in the 2025 season, and the stadium holds about 5,200 people. 7:25, we'll spin things back over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going down in sports?
Well, the top-ranked Nebraska volleyball team opened the Big Ten Conference season with a 3-game sweep of Michigan last night at the Bob Devaney Sports Center. Scores were 25-22, 25-10, 25-13. Harper Murray led the way with 11 kills, 7 digs, and 2 blocks. Virginia Adriano had 10 kills and 3 blocks. Bergen Riley recorded 28 assists, 9 digs, and an ace. She passed head coach Danny Busboom Kelly for 5th on Nebraska's career assist list with 2,950. Nebraska is now 11-0 in the season and will host Maryland on Saturday. First serve will be at 3 o'clock. The Nebraska women's soccer team will play Michigan tonight at Hibner Stadium in Lincoln. Huskers are 5-0-5 in the season. The Wolverines are 3-6-1. Game time will be at 7:05. Hastings College volleyball team lost to second-ranked Concordia last night in Seward. The scores were 19-25, 19-25, 15-25. Elsa Benny, Kayla Olsen, and McKenna Suter had 6 kills apiece for the Broncos. Hastings is now 4-11 on the season, 1-4 in the conference. They'll play host to Briar Cliff on Saturday, beginning at 4:30. We'll have the match on Extreme Sports 2, beginning with the pregame show at 4:15. Madison Rhodes scored a goal in the 84th minute last night as the Hastings College women's soccer team beat Doane 1-0 last night. The Broncos are now 7-1-1 in the season, 2-0-0 in the conference. Jalen Jensen scored a late goal for the Hastings College men's soccer team to force a 1-1 draw with the Tigers. The Broncos are now 3-3-3. They're 0-1-1 in the conference. Hastings will play host to Dakota Wesleyan on Saturday beginning at 5:30. We'll have the action on Extreme Sports. High school football action tonight. Kearney Catholic is at Amherst. Elm Creek is at Franklin. And Ansley Litchfield plays at Shelton. Tomorrow night, locally, Hastings High will play host to Beatrice. Adams Central is at Central City. And St. Cecilia is at Wood River. We'll have the St. Cecilia game for you tomorrow night on Extreme Sports, beginning with the pregame show at 6:45. High school softball today. Hastings High will play in the Gretna East Triangular with Blair. In volleyball, Hastings High will host Gretna East, and Sutton will play at Hastings St. Cecilia. The Los Angeles Angels beat the Kansas City Royals 3-2 last night. Same 2 teams will play again tonight. First pitch will be at 8:38. And the 4th week of the NFL season gets underway tonight as Seattle plays at Arizona. Kickoff will be at 7:15 on Prime. That's a check on your sports headlines at 7:29 on Extreme Sports.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Plenty of sunshine and light winds and dry weather to close out the work and school week and head into the weekend. Hey everybody, Tim Jones with your forecast. Today on Thursday, plenty of sunshine, a high of 80 degrees, light west-northwest winds at 5 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies, 55 is the low, 81 and sunny on Friday, 56 Friday night to Saturday morning, 82 on Saturday, 84 on Sunday, and those 80s continue into next week.
Kind of a cool start to the morning, though. We've got northwest winds at 5 miles per hour. Clear skies. It is 54 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
At Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center in Hastings, you can now experience the Balancer Pro lymphatic system, a relaxing, touchless treatment that works while you simply sit back. Using the principles of manual lymphatic drainage, it helps flush out swelling, reduce toxins, ease muscle soreness, and promote total body wellness. Whether you're recovering from surgery, looking to contour and tone, aiming for weight loss, or just wanting to feel lighter and more energized, the Balancer Pro lymphatic system delivers results you can feel immediately. Perfect for athletes, post-op recovery, detox, or anyone who just wants to look and feel their best, because it's for everybody with a body. Come try it today at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings.
Have you checked the time lately? Good chance a Miletta Vista Winery is open. Hey, this is Mick with an update on our new hours. Tuesday through Sunday, we're open 11:30 to 3, and Fridays and Saturdays 11:30 till 9. Not sure what you want to enjoy when you get here? Well, Miletta Vista features award-winning wine, select beers, spirits, world-class foods, breathtaking views, and live entertainment. Visit MilettaVistaWinery.com. Check out our events page for music schedules and more. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook. Make your reservations now at Miletta Vista Winery, located on Highway 281, just north of St. Paul.
Connet Auto Care is the trusted name in automotive repair and maintenance services in Hastings. We're a gold-certified Napa Auto Care Center. Our ASE-certified technicians have the Blue Seal of Excellence, receive continuous training, and are committed to providing the best service your vehicle can get. Whether it's preventative maintenance, major repairs, or just an oil change, Connet Auto Care is here for you.
Get ready for the ultimate trivia experience with Extreme Sports Trivia. Play from anywhere at home, on the go, or at your favorite bar or restaurant. Compete live against players from all over in real time, answering questions across categories like sports, pop culture, Marvel, and more. Want to see how you stack up? Track your progress with live leaderboards and aim for the top spot. It's free, fun, and super easy to play. So what are you waiting for? Sign up today at extremesports.com trivia and start playing now. And keep an eye out. We're coming soon to a bar or restaurant near you.
All right, Mike Wills, Science Center Veronica with you on this Thursday morning, the 25th of September for 2025, as we get you up and get you rolling here today. Thanks for listening to us, whether you're in on our website at x-streamsports.com, maybe on your smartphone with our free mobile app, your smart speaker, Roku TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitch, wherever you're listening to us. Thanks for joining us. Again, we'll have a high school football coming up tomorrow night. We'll be in Wood River. Be Hastings St. Cecilia playing at Wood River tomorrow night. 6:45 for the pregame, 7 o'clock for the kickoff, and then Saturday we'll have all the homecoming games for Hastings College on Extreme Sports and Extreme Sports 2 with football, volleyball, and soccer all in the air on Saturday. So big weekend of sports shaping up for us here on Extreme Sports.
Big weekend of sports. A big day today, by the way. And we are picking up a few fresh faces in the lobby, so I want to welcome some new members, some maybe from the Hastings Community Theater that are anxious to hear that interview coming up here in just a little bit with Amy Sandine. She joined me yesterday in the newly renovated podcast studio over at CCC, so we were able to christen that and get that off to a good start. We'll replay that interview here in just a little bit, but wanted to get your thoughts. Today is National One Hit Wonder Day today. You have a favorite one-hit wonder from a band that had one hit, and that was it?
Zager and Evans.
In the year 2525.
Yep, that's it.
Zager and Evans. I have no idea what else Zager and Evans does.
That's it. In the year 25-25.
You say Zager and Evans, and I'm like, oh, that was it.
Yeah, that's a great one-hit wonder right there.
I'm going to go out to the outfield. The band is literally named The Outfield. And they had the 80s classic, I Don't Wanna Lose Your Love Tonight.
Oh, yeah. That's their only hit they had?
If you Google search The Outfield.
That's the only one that comes up?
It's the only one that people talk about.
Oh, yeah, that was a good
Love.
tune. Yeah, that was great. Anything else? One-hit wonders?
Aha. How about we can throw Aha into the mix? Take on me. Aha with Take On Me would be a one-hit wonder.
Obviously, you need to keep your day jobs if you got going. I don't think you're going to have a singing career launching anytime soon.
I'm just warming up.
Are you still doing like karaoke when you have a chance?
Funny you should ask. No, because I don't have any time for it anymore. My weekends are generally booked, so I don't get off and do the karaoke classic. But I will occasionally find my way towards Wanda's, the karaoke bar, and bring out a few tunes for enjoyment. But it's generally now with plenty of liquid encouragement and courage that get into my system. But I can still toss down a few tracks.
Still belt out a few notes.
What about
on the karaoke stage?
Who was the band that? Oh my God! Now I can't think. I can't stop this feeling. Blue Suede.
Blue Suede shoes.
Blue Suede.
Blue Suede.
Something Suede.
I know the song you're thinking of. Hookah Chaka, Hookah Chaka,
Hooked on
Hookah
a Feeling.
Chaka. Yeah, Hooked on a Feeling. Hookah Chaka.
Hooked on a Feeling.
So, today is one-hit wonder day. So, yeah, pull out all those songs if you got those.
Originally recorded by B.J. Thomas, later than the more famous version by Blue Suede, which added the Ooga Shaka.
Ryan Martin has chimed in with Macarena song.
Oh, hey, Macarena.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you got it.
Who sang that? Los Del Rio.
Los Del Rio.
He's probably a one-hit wonder. Yeah, I like it. Anything else going on today for this special day?
Yeah, if you like cooking, it's National Cooking Day today, National Comic Book Day today, and National Rock Lobster. It's National Lobster Day today.
Do they still publish
Rock Lobster?
Still print comic books?
Oh, yeah.
Or is that a thing of the past?
No, that's a thing. The nerd culture is always going to exist.
So that's still around?
Yeah.
But do you buy new comics or you just buy the old comics up?
They still make them, like, new.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I guess I've never seen any of the new ones. If you stumble across a comic store and you go in and browse there all the old stuff.
Right? A lot of the collector's editions.
Oh, yeah.
People spend a lot of money on it.
Yes, they do. But I didn't know if, like, there's new comics coming out every month.
I think so. I think they
used
still
to a long
exist.
time ago. So, all right. I guess you learn something every day on this show.
That's what we aim to do.
Rolling along, let's get a recap on the volleyball from last night. Again, Nebraska winning over Michigan, 25-22, 25-10, 25-13. Danny Busboom Kelly, the head coach for the Huskers, called it a good win.
I thought we played really well. I thought Michigan came out on fire. When their offense is clicking, it's really hard to stop. And we were hanging in there. And I thought we did a great job of just trusting our scout and understanding that they were playing almost perfect. And we just had to keep doing what we were doing, and things would start to go our way. So just really proud of our adjustments from Saturday to today and the way we prepped and played defense. And so overall, really good performance on both sides of the ball.
Again, Harper Murray led the way with 11 kills, 7 digs, and 2 blocks. Bergen Riley recorded 28 assists, 9 digs, and an ace. She passed DBK for fifth on Nebraska's career assist list with 2,950.
Bergen's very, very high volleyball IQ type player, so I'm not surprised that this is coming alive when it is. And the last 2 games have been our best passing games by far, so that coincides with it being easier for her to be aggressive. So it's just good to see her take advantage of that. And as the more confident she gets, even just setting the ball, she'll probably be throwing it down even more. Just it's a confidence thing as a setter.
And DBK says it was important to start the conference season with a win.
Yeah, I felt like we kind of talked to the team that we need to be on a mission. And I felt like the end of the non-conference, we were kind of fizzling out and needed to reset, and it was kind of a new season and a new mindset, and it was great to see us show that. It's one thing to like say you're in a great mindset, but for that to translate into your play is huge. And I think Michigan's a really good team, and I'll be surprised if they're not in the tournament. And I thought we played great, and I thought it might be closer the whole game. I'm actually surprised at the end that it was so fast, but that's hats off to just our team and the way we stayed consistent and got better throughout the match, which I don't think we've done yet this year.
All right, so the Huskers 11-0 on this season. They'll play host to Maryland on Saturday. First serve will be at 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon.
Big flex. Yeah, sweeping Michigan.
Picking up another win.
Yeah.
So Huskers now 11-0 on the season. All right, 7:42. Shall we move on? Dive into the arts a little bit here today?
I'd love to. Yeah, as I mentioned, got some fresh faces in the lobby today. A lot of people anxious to hear from producer Amy Sandine. She was kind enough to join me yesterday to talk a little bit about the upcoming Hastings Community Theater season, which will kick off not this weekend, but next weekend with the production of Annie, and work hard underway to put the finishing touches on what should be a fun-filled show for the Hastings Community Theater. Central Nebraska's newest morning show. It's Huddle Up, and we continue here on this Thursday morning as we are pleased to dive into what's going on over at the Hastings Community Theater. And what's going on is a large-scale production that's going to be happening October 3rd through the 5th and 10th through the 12th. It's Annie. You guys had a fantastic, fun event over at Wine and Cheese Shop yesterday. Got to see some photos from that, and the costumes were perfect. Amy Sandine, producer of the show. And a good friend of mine joining us here as we launch in and dive into what's going on over at the Hastings Community Theater. Amy is the producer of the show, also involved in the show on stage, and has even kind of dove in and dived into kind of an assistant director's show just because of the vast quantity of the cast. Amy, how excited are you guys to all the hard work over the summer to be able to finally get here to looking at the clock and saying, oh man, opening night's just around the corner. How excited is everybody over at the theater?
We are stoked, and thank you so much for inviting me in. This is awesome. So glad to be here talking with you today. It's been a really interesting run-up to the show because Hastings Community Theater does so many amazing productions, and they have an After Dark series in the summer that ran on stage at the theater through the end of August. So our amazing, flexible cast started rehearsals in the community room at Good Samaritan Village, which has been a wonderful partner. And then didn't even get on stage at the theater until the beginning of September. So here we are a week away from opening night, and we are loving being on stage. Kids are excited about their costumes and their props and their dance moves and their songs and their lines, and we're having a blast.
I first got wind of Annie and Hastings Community Theater doing that during the Kool-Aid Days parade with all the great costumes that were put together as checking out the community theater float. But let's just talk about the rehearsals in general when you do have that much of a cast to work with and there's so many moving parts within this show. Talk about that challenge and how, because the majority of the cast is young.
Right.
The majority of the cast has... maybe for some early green experience on stage. So there's a lot to navigate there. Talk about just putting it all together and how everyone's responded.
Absolutely. And it's so wonderful to have so many kids for whom this is their very first experience on stage. And I feel a real responsibility to nurture that passion. And so we've got a dozen orphans, of course, so they are definitely a central part of the show, and they're incredible kids playing those parts. And then a number of young adults who are helping us out in a number of different roles, many of them double cast in roles throughout the ensemble and throughout the story. And then just a few folks over their, 20, 21 age. And so some real veterans. Barris Rosenberg is the director, and she is a longtime theater aficionado, and her husband Chuck is building the sets like he does for so many. And we've got amazing stage crew, and Jess Brock is doing costumes. She's also on stage. So we're all playing a lot of different roles behind the scenes and on stage and supporting each other. And it's amazing to see, especially the young people, being there for each other as support when there might be some nerves at play. Mm-hmm. So we do coordinate so that we're learning choreography for one particular song before other people arrive for rehearsal, or the kids are practicing their moves in the hallway while we're learning a dance for the Warbucks servants and staff, things like that. So it is moving parts. It's a complex, multifaceted show with lots of costumes, lots of props, lots of set pieces, and lots of fun.
As far as the interaction with you mentioned the 21 plus, the veterans, if you will, mm-hmm. of the community theater, and whether that be the Rosenbergs and Chuck with all the amount of time he spends with set building and construction, to those who are on stage, yourself, Amy Harris, Jess Brock, how much fun is it to see that interaction and that passion and that joy for live theater get passed on, because it's infectious, and when it sinks its teeth into the younger generation, it's really fun to see come to life.
It really is, and it's a beautiful thing where we've got several pairs of siblings on stage together. We've got Colin Sandall, who plays Daddy Warbucks. His twin girls are in the orphan chorus, and so there's those familial connections. There's some nieces and nephews of staff members and stage crew. So it's really fun to see both they're coming with stories from home and taking those stories home with them, and then classmates who are at school together practicing the songs and making new friendships too. We've definitely seen people come together some of whom might have been involved in the theater or in other activities together, and now have this common experience to share, and we'll cherish the memories forever. So yes, it's a real responsibility, as I mentioned, to make this experience positive and rewarding for everyone, to instill that love of the arts, the love of the culture that we can provide here in Hastings, in a town that's rich with so many activities like this.
When you put on a big scale production like in Annie, as far as just the overall draw, there's a little bit of a challenge in and of itself, because everybody has seen Annie. Everyone's kind of been a part of Annie, or at least has some idea of what Annie is about. So there's a little bit of a challenge in that this is something we can't really just make up as we go along, right? But also on the flip side, it does tend to boost numbers, and it does tend to see more patrons get involved, or potential new patrons. Talk about those potential new patrons and welcoming them into the theater family.
That's the beauty of this kind of season, where the board of the theater does a really nice job of reviewing the potential shows that might be part of a season, let alone the summer shows that aren't part of the regular season. Right. And so there's a really interesting mix this year that starts with Annie, which is officially the most loved musical of all time. So no pressure to get it right? And then from there, we've got a Sherlock theme, and we've got Radium Girls, and we've got Spamalot, not in that order, Spamalot and then Radium Girls, coming up through the rest of the season. And so there's this real variety of this really very family-friendly decades old, well-known Broadway show. People know Sherlock. People know Spamalot and Monty Python. They might not know the story of Radium Girls and the factory workers that were affected. So it's an experience that provides entertainment and education and community gathering all at once. So we're excited to kick off the season with a show that's already selling tickets like crazy. So if you don't have a ticket and you want to come, check out the website at hctheatre.org for your tickets because they're going fast.
Again, the show running October 3rd through the 5th, 10th through the 12th, Friday and Saturday shows at 7:30. Sunday, the curtain opens at 2:30. Again, over at the Hastings Community Theater, hctheatre.org. Also on the social media pages, plenty of info on Annie, as most of my friends have been posting self-promotions in the lead up to. But lastly, before we let you go, Amy, just talking again, Amy Sandine, the producer of Hastings Community Theater's kickoff show for the season, Annie, just to be a part of and around the HCT family, regardless of show, is its own reward. Talk about working with all these incredible people from all walks of life in the community that come together to put this on.
Very much so. I have made so many good friends through the theater, and I have been involved for a number of years, but not consistently. It's a place you can always come back to. And as the producer, I have the honor of putting the program together and reading everybody's bios that will be in there. And so many of, especially these young people, are saying, this is my home. This is my safe space. This is where I find my community. And that's a beautiful thing. And we need to have those safe spaces, those third spaces beyond home, school, or church, whatever your other safe spaces might be. And the theater is one of those. And really proud to be a small part of that. I'm certainly not part of the leadership team for the theater as a whole. And it's really fun to get creative, run this show, find period 1933 props that are believable as we throw things into actors' hands to manipulate on stage and present something that people are going to just be wowed by. It's humor, it's heartstrings, it's hope, and really comes through with a positive message at a perfect time.
For 1933 radio props, you might just go over to studio number 3. We cleaned out a few studios, and I'm pretty sure we got things that could be submitted to the Hastings Museum as we record here on the campus of CCC. Amy Sandine, producer, actress, part director here for the show. So many roles and then so many hats that you wear, but we cannot wait to see the curtain open here for this particular show again, Friday and Saturday and Sunday, 3rd through the 5th, and then again the next weekend, 10th through the 12th, over at the Hastings Community Theater. Info and tickets at hctheatre.org. Anything else you want to add before we let you go today?
I just want to thank everybody who's supporting this show. We've had a real strong showing from our spotlight sponsors and show sponsors, and people have really stepped up to say they want to support local theater. And we are so grateful, especially to Karen and Roger Dorr, who are our spotlight sponsors, and other lead sponsors are Pershing Orthodontics, City Iron and Metal, Krieger Electric, Pediatric Dental Specialists, and Susan and Neil Hoff, and many others who I don't have time to name. But we can't do it without people in the community supporting the nonprofit that's all volunteer run, with lots of love.
And with lots of love, we say this, break a leg come 3rd through the 5th. Annie, opening weekend, the kickoff for Hastings Community Theater. Producer Amy Sandine has been our guest here on Huddle Up. Good morning.
All right, good stuff with Amy and Hastings Community Theater as we roll through this Thursday morning here on Huddle Up.
And Ryan in the comment sections chiming in. He's got a connection to Annie, a former student, will be playing the role of Annie. Should be a great play, says Ryan Martin. So it's got Ryan Martin's endorsement. What else do you need, right?
All right, waking up with Mike and Tyson here this morning. It's 7:54.
It's time for a morning news update on Extreme Sports.
All right, first news for Loper fans. The University of Nebraska-Kearney has officially scrapped the idea of selling alcohol at football games for the 2025 season. University spokesperson Todd Gatula confirming the news that no alcohol will be sold at Ron or Carroll Cope Stadium this year, saying in a statement, after reviewing it carefully, the insurance costs were just too cost prohibitive for the university and our concessions vendor, so we're going to revisit the concept in the off-season and evaluate the options and take a look at maybe doing this in future seasons, end quote. Now, UNK and its concessions vendor Nightlife Concepts ran into insurance-related issues, specifically the vendor's insurance provider could only offer them $1 million in liquor liability coverage, but the university requires $5 million under system rules. Also, the remaining schedule. The Lopers just have 3 remaining home games in 2025, and the school's football stadium holds about 5,200 people. So no booze at UNK. In other alcohol-related news, Hobie Roop, the former executive director of Nebraska's Liquor Control Commission, was federally indicted this week and charged with honest services fraud, wire fraud, and extortion as a public official. The indictment alleges that Roop accepted cash, free drinks, dances, and sex acts from 2 Lincoln strip clubs in exchange for shielding them from investigators and enforcing unfavorable scrutiny on their competitors. The strip clubs involved The Office and the Night Before Lounge. Brent Zywick is part owner of both of those clubs and is also named in the indictment, and he faces counts of conspiracy and honest services fraud as well. Between 2022 and 2025, Roop allegedly used his position to protect these clubs from regulatory or law enforcement scrutiny, ignored violations, and tipped investigators towards the competing clubs. The indictment cites evidence such as text messages, surveillance video, and internal club records, which were nothing more than sticky notes marked COB for cost of business to track illicit payments. 7:56. We'll head over to the East Side Studios. Mike, what's going down in sports?
Well, the Nebraska volleyball team opened up the Big Ten Conference season last night with a 3-game sweep of Michigan at the Bob Devaney Sports Center. The scores were 25-22, 25-10, 25-13. Harper Murray led the way, 11 kills, 7 digs, and 2 blocks. Nebraska now 11-0 in the season. They will host Maryland coming up on Saturday. First serve will be at 3. The Nebraska women's soccer team will play Michigan tonight at Hibner Stadium in Lincoln. Game time will be at 7:05. Hastings College volleyball team went on the road last night, lost to second-ranked Concordia in Seward. Scores were 19-25, 19-25, and 15-25. Broncos now 4-11 in the season, 1-4 in the conference. They will play Briar Cliff on Saturday. In soccer, Madison Rhodes scored a goal in the 84th minute last night as Hastings College women's soccer team beat Doane by the score of 1-0. In the men's game, Jalen Jensen scored a late goal for the Hastings College men's soccer team to force a 1-1 draw with the Tigers. Both Hastings teams will play Dakota Wesleyan coming up on Saturday. High school football action tonight. Kearney Catholic is at Amherst. Elm Creek is at Franklin. And Ansley Litchfield is at Shelton. The Los Angeles Angels beat the Kansas City Royals 3-2 last night. Same 2 teams will play again tonight. First pitch at 8:38. And the 4th week of the NFL season gets underway tonight as Seattle plays at Arizona. Kickoff will be at 7:15 on Prime. That's your check in your sports headlines at 7:58.
It's time for a morning weather update on Extreme Sports with Chief Meteorologist Tim Jones.
Plenty of sunshine and light winds and dry weather to close out the work and school weekend, head into the weekend. Hey everybody, Tim Jones with your forecast. Today on Thursday, plenty of sunshine, a high of 80 degrees, light west-northwest winds at 5 miles per hour. Tonight, clear skies, 55 is the low, 81 and sunny on Friday, 56 Friday night to Saturday morning, 82 on Saturday, 84 on Sunday, and those 80s continue into next week.
As you wake up, get going this morning. North winds at 5. We've got clear skies. It's 54 in Hastings at Extreme Sports.
At Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center in Hastings, you can now experience the Balancer Pro lymphatic system, a relaxing, touchless treatment that works while you simply sit back. Using the principles of manual lymphatic drainage, it helps flush out swelling, reduce toxins, ease muscle soreness, and promote total body wellness. Whether you're recovering from surgery, looking to contour and tone, aiming for weight loss, or just wanting to feel lighter and more energized, the Balancer Pro lymphatic system delivers results you can feel immediately. Perfect for athletes, post-op recovery, detox, or anyone who just wants to look and feel their best, because it's for everybody with a body. Come try it today at Bamboo Spa and Wellness Center, 208 South Burlington Avenue, Suite 101 in Hastings.
I'm John Butler, funeral director and owner at Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center in Hastings.
And I'm Nikki Butler, the advanced funeral planning specialist. Whether you choose a traditional service, cremation, or a unique memorial service, our experienced staff is here to help guide you through every step. Visit us at lbvfh.com to learn more about our services and how we can support you.
Livingston Butler Vollen Funeral Home and Cremation Center. We are here when your need is greatest.
Hamilton has been providing IT solutions for businesses across the state of Nebraska for more than 3 decades. We know that Nebraska businesses are a driving force of support for the communities in which we live and work. We keep them connected and protected by delivering cybersecurity, hosted phones, and managed IT. We are grateful to be part of our Nebraska communities and to support their technology needs.
Morebusiness.com.
You're listening to Huddle Up here today on Extreme Sports for this Thursday. So again, don't forget your Survivor picks need to be in by 6 p.m. tonight, week number 4 of the NFL season. We unveiled our picks yesterday. Tyson is on Buffalo this week. I'm on Detroit, so make sure you get your Survivor picks in by 6 p.m. tonight. There is an NFL game this evening as Seattle plays at Arizona. Kickoff at 7:15 on Prime. We'll get our Blazing 5 picks tomorrow. Be another Friday Blazing 5 by the slightest of margins. We sneak in with the Blazing 5 this week.
You're welcome.
Tyson guys saved the day for us.
Carried you over the finish line.
Not healthy. You were struggling just a little bit. Your knees were starting to buckle.
Well, sorry, you were heavy to carry. My knees were buckling. I was trying to carry your ass to the finish line.
Your knees were buckling, though. As we got to the finish line, we finished one game over 500 between me and you and the IT guy. So it'll be a Blazing 5 this week instead of a Frozen 5. God. We had a Frozen 5 2 weeks ago, and we said we hope that would never happen again.
We almost were there a week later. Anyways. So Blazing 5 coming up tomorrow. I want to throw this stat at you. The Seattle Mariners officially clinching the American League West, locked in at a playoff spot. It has been since 2001 since the last time the Seattle Mariners had clinched the American League West. 2001, for reference, I was a freshman in high school. And in that year that I was a freshman in high school, let's take a look back. Fallen by Alicia Keys was the number 1 song in the United States. Shrek had just been released in theaters the last time the Seattle Mariners won the American League West. Phenom Julio Rodriguez, he was 8 months old.
Oh, no.
He was 8 months old. The first Harry Potter movie was the number 1 film. The original OG Harry Potter film. It was the number 1 film in America at that time. Ichiro Suzuki was a rookie in 2001. He's now in the Hall. And the iPod, remember the iPod? That had not yet been released at this date in 2001. The last time the Mariners won the American League West was a long, long time ago.
Hopefully they had a lot of champagne.
So much champagne.
Hopefully they had it. So Major League Baseball playoffs will be getting underway soon. Seattle has reason to celebrate. They're firmly entrenched into the playoffs. Some other teams are not. They'll have to play down to the wire here this weekend. So that's what's going on in sports. Again, we'll be back again tomorrow morning at 7 with the Blazing 5 picks. It's 7:30 tomorrow morning. So make sure you join us for that. What else is going on? Anything else we need to bring to the table before we get out of here?
My menu has been depleted.
All right. Thanks to Amy Sandine from the Hastings Community Theater for joining us here on a special edition. Get Amy in and talk about their upcoming performance of Annie, which is starting next weekend. Again, if you'd like to listen to the interview again or like to listen to the show again, you can just download the podcast on any one of our social media sites and listen to it at your convenience throughout the day here today. But make plans to be with us again tomorrow morning, 7 o'clock for Huddle Up on Extreme Sports. Have yourself a great day.
You've been listening to Huddle Up on Extreme Sports, Central Nebraska's new home for sports. Join us every weekday morning from 7 until 8 on Extreme.